So now let's spend a little bit of time trying to get an intuition of what this M matrix is. So the best way to think about what an image moment is, an image moment is a particularly weighted average of image pixel intensities. And it could also be a function of those intensities. And it's used to basically give a certain specific property at a point within an image. So at any image, shown by this rectangle here, at any point I want to be able to kind of find some properties that are kind of descriptive and something I can actually find about that image. And of course, what we will leverage here is information driven by the derivatives at that point. So if the derivatives, of course, can be measured using various types of things we've looked at, and from that I can find a gradient vector, the magnitude of that, and the direction. The second moment matrix is specifically a matrix derived from the gradient of this function that could be actually at this point. And it summarizes the predominant directions of the gradient in a specified neighborhood of that point. So around that point, it basically now gives you more information about the direction and the magnitude. One additional thing that's important about the second moment matrix, it also gives you a little bit more information about the coherency of the directions in that neighborhood. So let's look at the equation of how we would compute the second moment matrix. Basically, again, it is the intensities in the derivative of the intensities in x and y direction, and then the mixtures of these x and y's on the diagonals or off diagonals, and computed over any neighborhood point. And of course, the neighborhood search is this region here. So again, simply put, if I had an image like this, basically I can use the second moment matrix to, at any point and the neighborhood around that point, find a description using the gradients that is unique to this point, and actually I want to use this to understand more about what's happening in the region, and that could be used to now compute the information about if there's a corner and what kinds of parameters associated with that corner in that image. The thing to note, of course, is, and we've talked about this, is the importance of the ellipse and the eigenvalues. Again, something we've looked at before. Of course, when you have certain bits of information, and again, if you think about it this way with the moments, it's kind of giving you information what's the best possible rotation around these two different axes. And of course, we use this to define two major axes, one for this ellipse, a minor, and the major axes. And this kind of gives us what's the most dominant direction for this region. And that's what we're interested in here, is at any point in an image, finding these types of ellipsoids and using these ellipsoids to find the dominant directions. And of course, recall that eigenvalues provide us with this information.